everybody will want to do it or should do it. But then to come back, the thing of India is it changes you. It creates this resolve, and it has amazing qualities of present moment that because the people and the culture are just that. And then you probably were just ready even more and clear to take that trip. And you didn't have a place to stay. Is that what you said?
Yeah, we didn't have a place to live. On the road trip, we found an Airbnb and booked an Airbnb for a few weeks. And we figured we'll find a place. We'll find a place and we will plant our roots and it'll be okay. And even though I did doubt that here and there, I'm a planner and a list maker. To be on faith was a test for me and to kind of surrender that a little bit. But it worked. We have a beautiful little home and a great yard and a sweet dog who loves it all. So we've put down roots in a place we love, and life is slower and more intentional and more free all at the same time.
Sounds great. I mean, it sounds like what so many people only can wish for. So let's talk about, it's been such a year for you and so much is happening and so much more possibilities your way. Share with us where you are now and your passion for helping women build their confidence and live their best life.
That is my favorite thing to talk about. That is where I am today. Today, I am a certified life coach, and thanks to you, Reiki Practitioner. Very happy about that. And I work every day with the most amazing women who are shockingly stuck in their careers. They feel so stuck and so isolated and unhappy. And every single one of them comes to me saying, I know I was meant for more than this. I know I was meant for something great. I was meant for something in service of others, but I don't know what that is. And I'm scared to go after it, but not so scared that they don't try and that they don't contact a life coach. So that's what we've been up to. What I focus on is helping these women connect to their true, authentic purpose so that they can take inspired action and create a life that they love, a career that feels meaningful, and also have more fun and freedom, because there's something very constricting about the life that they're living, and they don't feel like it's really theirs. They're living it for other people and not really for themselves.
So when they say they're stuck, are they stuck in various ways? Are they stuck in a career as well as a marriage or a relationship? Does it run the gamut, or are you seeing similar people with similar situations?
I think for the most part, I'm seeing stuck in their careers. That's just who's attracted to me right now. But I also think a lot of us define ourselves by our careers, especially women who, like me, who grew up and always knew we were going to go to college and we'd get the good job, and we were raised to be independent women. And so you kind of think your job is your purpose, but your purpose is way bigger than your job and bigger than your career and bigger than your family. Like, your purpose is between you and the universe. And they're so disconnected from it that they feel really stuck.
This is probably like a whole opening up a can of worms, but how do you get them to take the first step? Are there exercises? Are there tools? Are there rituals? Just, maybe just touch on a few things, because I'm sure there's a lot to talk about, but
there definitely are a lot of things to talk about. I could go on about it for hours, but I won't for the sake of our conversation and your listeners. One of the first things I always have people do is examine their beliefs. So examine all of those things that they're carrying around. I call it the shoulds. All of the things they believe they should do in their career, they should be. So for me, those were things like, I should get a job in my degree field, and I should make sure I get a promotion every year, or I'm not moving forward. And I should wear blazers to work, because that makes me look more professional, and then people will take me seriously. So just getting rid of all those shoulds. So what I suggest people do is grab a piece of paper and write them down. Get them out of your head and onto the page, and start to see what you've been carrying around all these years. And so that's a really great first step, is to start to look at that foundation. because it's hard to build a foundation for a new, empowering, purposeful career on these old beliefs and this old system. Another thing that I think is really actionable and really, really amazing when you're starting to discover your purpose is to start to identify your strengths and gifts. And this is, part coaching and part spirituality. This is having faith that the universe, God, spirit, endowed you with certain gifts in your life, that the trials you've been through, the challenges you've been through, they endowed you with certain gifts when you got to the end of that challenge, when you came through the darkness. And it's getting in touch with what those gifts are, what your innate strengths are, and using them in the world. Because the more you're using your strengths and gifts and you're expressing them and you're sharing them, the more you're walking in your purpose. You have those gifts for a reason.
Do most women come to you and are completely baffled of what their purpose is?
I think most women come to me with a secret dream. It's like this little secret dream they've had all their lives that they're almost afraid to tell people because they're afraid they can't get it. If they say it out loud, that means they admitted they wanted it, and there's this fear of failure. If I don't get it, now it's real, and now I'm letting myself down.
Wow.
I think most people come with that little secret dream inside.
And have you seen people completely leave their marriages and completely change their careers, or is it a slow, I guess it just depends on the person if it's been, very drastic change or a very slow progression. So
it does. It depends on the person. I'm a jump in with both feet person. As you can tell, I quit my job and moved without even a place to live, let alone a job to do. So I'm a jump in with both feet person. It keeps me accountable. It keeps me excited. And I've had some people, like recently one client, after our first session, we get back on for session number 2. And she goes, Samantha, guess what? What, Isabella? What happened? I quit my job. Like, oh no. Thankfully, she had some savings, but I don't advocate for quitting your job after our first coaching session, though it was a huge, huge signal to the universe that she was ready for something big.
Sure.
Most people take smaller incremental steps, which is what I normally would recommend, because these are our careers. We have lives we need to support. And honestly, if you're paying for life coaching, you have a life coach to now pay for too, and you have food to buy. A lot of people have children to raise. It's not responsible to just quit our jobs and go in with both feet for most of us. So there are small incremental changes you can make, because in the scheme of things, even if it takes a year is a pretty short time.
Right.
Like, look what changed for both of us in a year.
Exactly. I had one of my mentors wrote this beautiful email. I got it in my inbox today. And she was saying, stop everything you're doing and look back from where you were a year ago. And I'm that person that's always looking to the next thing, which is good to some degree, but I hardly ever give myself the pat on the back, look how far you've come. And when someone else, I can say to other people all the time, I can always see that their growth, like I'm looking at you and going, oh my God, so exciting. But for me, I don't give myself the time to recognize how far I've come. So it's so true to kind of step back and just take it all in. So I want to kind of segue a little bit to your personal spiritual practices, something that you even have perhaps on a daily basis, or just maybe something you have in place for your life, whatever you feel that you'd like to share.
I definitely have my practices. I would not be able to show up in the world as the person I am. And certainly I wouldn't be able to show up for my clients if I didn't take care of myself first. So that's how I start every single day. I wake up every morning, and I like to say I wake up with gratitude on my lips. I wake up and I immediately say, this comes from Pam Grout. She's an author and an expert in the law of attraction. So what I immediately say is, something amazingly awesome will happen to me today. And then I list out 3 blessings that I can count from the day before. So it gets me really intentionally focused on gratitude and finding in my day the beautiful blessings that I already have. Start with gratitude, and then I go outside. Being in nature is everything to me. That feels like church to me. Getting out in nature, being among the trees and the plants. So I always go for a walk. It's like a 20-minute walk, but it just grounds me and clears my head. And then I come in to the house again, and I have a little altar space that I set up, and I meditate. And sometimes that meditation goes really well. And sometimes it is 5 minutes and I am distracted, but it's a meditation practice, not a meditation perfect. So I try to be okay with it. And those are my core practices: gratitude, nature, meditation. They clear my head. They connect me back to spirit. They connect me to myself. And once I've done them, I feel like I can start my day. I can answer emails. I can show up for other people because I've already showed up for myself.
Nice. I love that. And you're a recovering perfectionist, of course.
Yeah.
So that's why the meditation is always, I'm sure you, like me, we do what we can. Sometimes I look after 10 minutes, okay, I'm done. And then others, it's 30 minutes or whatever.
Yeah. Today went so well. Yesterday, I must have popped out of it 5, 6, 7 times, but I went back. I didn't give up on myself. It's my practice. I'm committed to it.
Exactly. That's what they keep saying. It's always the practice. So I want to ask you the intuition question. So if I asked you, and I know for everyone it may be different, what do you feel intuition is for you?
Intuition is the part of me that is all knowing and all confident, the part of me that loves me the most and is always trying to talk to me, even when I don't listen. I feel like it's that part that it knows that it has all the right answers already. It has all the knowledge I'm seeking on the outside. And if I would just get quiet enough and listen to myself on the inside, that search could kind of be over.
That's beautiful. I love that. Can you share with the listeners an intuitive moment or intuitive hit in your, I guess you've already kind of said it with the awakening and I'm going to move, but maybe if we bring it to the business. So as you have developed yourself and you keep developing yourself spiritually and as a person, have you had any intuition in your business, in your actual, practice of business that has come to you like an aha moment, or this is exactly the route I'm going to take, or this is exactly the program I'm going to create, or the book I'm going to, I see a book in your future, by the way. But is there anything you want to share with the listeners, intuition in your business that's come about? Well,
there's one. I just had a moment last Friday. I was working with a coach, one of my own coaches. She's an amazing branding coach, and we were telling my story. I was telling her my story, and I just started getting goosebumps, and I started choking up a little bit, getting a little emotional, realizing how much it matters to me to be brave. I was telling her my story and the moments where I was the most brave, the moments where I used my voice, the moments where I took those leaps of faith, and how much they meant to me. And I realized that's what I want to teach other women. I want to teach other women how to be brave. And so I don't know if it's going to turn into the Brave Woman Collective, or I don't even know if that's trademarked, so I apologize, whatever it might be. But I have a feeling that my next project is going to be for brave women, or really for women who want to be brave and find that part of themselves.
I love that. That's amazing. So that's the intuitive hits we get. That's the feelings. That's the connection, the all-knowing, the aha moments people talk about, the gut feeling. And I have no doubt that you will create something along the avenue of bravery. And so many people need that. They need to know that they'll be okay and that they'll be able to tackle what's coming their way.
Thank you.
So before we end, I would love to please share with the listeners either anything to direct them to you or programs you have going on, website.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I'm always on Facebook, so anybody can come hang out with me on Facebook anytime. My handle is @Samantha Calonita Coaching. So that's probably the best place to hang out with me. You can also check out my website, www.SamanthaCalonita.com. And I do have a new program opening up in the next couple of weeks. It should open up by May 1st. And I am going to be working with